at a point now, because I'm older, getting old, I appreciate the person in front of me that may be going a little bit slow, because I have to think to myself, you know what, this person might be saving my life right now. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope all is going well. It is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday. Happy Friday Eve to everybody. For the last 3 to 4 days, I've noticed really erratic behavior on the road. I've been forced to make turns or make sudden stops, or have had to avoid hitting somebody because of the aggressive driving. Whenever I get forced off the road or ran off the road or anything like that, I have a habit of trying to see who was in the driver's seat, just so that I can confirm, oh yeah, that person is crazy. If you do something crazy, I'm gonna speed up a little bit just so I can see. Now I gotta be careful because people are crazy, legit, right? And during this time of year, you never know what people are going through just in general, but right now I don't think it's a time to mess with people. So, you know, I'm pretty discreet, or at least I try to be. I've only had one accident the whole time, so I have a pretty good, perfect driving record. The one time I did have an accident, it was not my fault, and I am not even lying. As a matter of fact, that man got over on me because it was his fault, and I was a new driver. It was my first car. Anyways, what I've noticed over the last couple of days is these people that are acting erratic, they have two things in common. Number one, they're all women. And I hate to even say that, but it is what it is, because I think women are great drivers. I've seen some men be horrible drivers just as well as women. But the one thing that all these drivers that I've had these incidences with, where they're aggressively driving behind me or cutting me off or doing something crazy, they were all women, and they were all black women. You want to know what else was something they all had in common? All of their vehicles were luxury. All luxury vehicles. The woman that ran me over on the way to my friend's house, she was driving a white Range Rover. The lady at the school, she was driving a black Acura. There's this whole thing about black women being bosses and boss chicks, and I could tell that these women are obviously successful based on the vehicles that they drive. Now, do people spend most of their money on cars when it should be going towards other things? Yes, that is possible, that people are overspending on cars that they really can't afford, okay? But let's just say, for the sake of this video, that these women have plenty of money and they have enough to afford these vehicles, which obviously at this point in time they do, okay? It lends me to think about why these women are driving crazy. And it also makes me wonder, how well are they, how much are they taking self-care into consideration? I hear people say all the time, you can't have it all. And when I say have it all, I mean the husband, the big house and picket fence, the 2.5 kids and the dog, the perfect job or business. They say you can't have it all. And I don't believe that's true. I believe you can have it all. I just don't think, and I've heard this said before, that you just can't have it all at the same time. You just can't have it all at the same time. There's going to be times where your business is booming, hubby is doing his thing, helping out more, sex is great, you guys are getting along, but then your kid comes down with an illness, or your kid is acting up in school. You know, there's just always going to be some aspect of your life that is not going to always be, there's always going to be some aspect of your life that is going to be a little bit off. You know, you may lose some clients, or you may get demoted or fired from a job, but then you got your husband back home who's holding it down, being your rock, making everything better, and your kids understand your stress, so they're helping out too and behaving. You know, the dog's not pissing in the house, that type of thing, you know. So there's always going to be something in our lives that's going to try to take us off kilter. But there's a reason for that. I think, you know, God wants us to remain humble. And when things aren't going perfect, it's a reminder that you can survive anything. Because when you're going through it, it sucks. Yes, it doesn't feel good. But once you get through it, okay, so you just gonna park in the middle. Good morning, it's Friday. I wasn't done with my video yesterday, so I wanted to come back and finish it. But what I wanted to finish and say was that, first of all, if you're still here and you're still watching, I appreciate you. I hear people say all the time that folks have a short attention span and that they don't watch videos past a certain point. But I think that applies to people that are very busy, excuse me, that have lives and jobs and things like that. And then there's a group of people like me who don't work. So you have time to finish watching the video. But all I wanted to add to the video was that just because you speed does not mean you are going to get to where you're going faster. And somebody, a psychologist, actually pointed this out to me, and it's changed the way I drive ever since. This was like 10 years ago. And I was complaining about trying to get to work on time and how I was speeding. And he said, well, if you're driving the roads, the streets and not the highway, it's not going to make a difference anyway. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, they create those lights and things like that and stop signs. All that stuff will deter you. You're still going to get to where you're going at the same time because the lights are designed that way. And so I started paying attention, and I actually had to prove this to my son the other day because there was a guy, or a couple weeks ago, there was a motorcycle that was speeding through. And I said, Bishop, I want you to pay attention to this, that motorcycle that just sped past us, okay? I said, we're going to give it about a mile, mile and a half. If he's going in the same direction, we're going to drive the normal speed. He's speeding. We're going to see if he still ends up at the same place that we do a mile up the road. What do you think happened? By the time we got to the street that we normally turn on, which is about a mile and a half up the road, the motorcycle was still at the light. So whenever you're driving, if it's not highway and you're on the streets, speeding most of the time is not going to allow you to get to where you're going on time. So just take your time. Nothing is worth your life. I've literally seen accidents upon accidents here, and there would be accidents you wouldn't think were deadly, but were. Just because it's on the street doesn't mean you can't lose your life. So I'm just pleading with you guys, anybody that's listening to me still, be careful when you're driving. Nothing is worth your life. You can go through that yellow light, or you can run that red light, and I guarantee you're still gonna end up where you ended. I just want to leave that last little PSA there for anybody that may be feeling frantic, stressed out, worried, running behind. We all know that there's things we can do, like getting up earlier or preparing a little bit sooner or the night before, so that we don't have the problem of trying to rush. You know, but that's life. Things happen, situations happen. And I'm at a point now, because I'm older, getting old, I appreciate the person in front of me that may be going a little bit slow, because I have to think to myself, you know what? This person might be saving my life right now. God put that person slow in front of me for a reason. Just know everything in life, good or bad, all of it is for a reason. God allows it to happen for a reason. Things just happen to us for a reason. So rather than get upset, take the lesson out of everything. Get to a point where even while in that thing that's happening, you still appreciate what you do have, and you can appreciate the trials and tribulations, because you know at the end of that, there's going to be something great.